Hello, everybody. Welcome back to PW IELTS and TOEFL Prep. My name is Vandana. In this particular session, we are going to be diving deep into summarized written text of the PTE exam. So, without much ado, let's straight away dive deep into it. And here you go. Now, we are going to be understanding what exactly this PTE summarized written text is, how to write one sentence summary of 300 word long text, and how to utilize these 10 minutes. Let's talk about the timing straight away. Now, to write this summary, you are given 10 minutes on the day of exam. And it's important that you utilize these 10 minutes very appropriately. So, you will be given roughly 300 word long text on the day of exam, and you need to convert that text into one sentence summary. For that, it's important that you divide these 10 minutes in three segments. In the first 3 minutes, it's important that you read the text thoroughly but quickly. In the last 2 minutes, it's incredibly vital for you to check your work for any errors. And that will leave you with around 5 minutes in your hands to write that summary. It's very important to divide our time like this in three segments rather than only focusing on skimming and scanning and writing. Now, this question type tests you on your reading and writing skills along with grammar and vocabulary. Let's understand this question type in a bit more detail. Like I said, you will be given a 300 word, roughly 300 word long text on the day of exam. And you need to read it to understand not only the main idea, but also the supporting details. Now, this main idea and supporting details need to be converted into summary, and that summary needs to be one sentence long. One sentence long means you cannot use full stops anywhere, just at the end. Plus, be very careful of the word limit. You are not supposed to write fewer than 5 words or more than 75 words. So, stay within the word limit. And in this kind of task, when you have to convert this kind of lengthy text into just one single sentence, it becomes incredibly vital to use correct punctuations and connectors. So you should know the comma rules, the conjunction rules, and stuff like that to ace this question type. Moving on, this is the scoring criteria. You will be scored on the content. So here, of course, main idea is something that matters, but other than that, one problem that I see with students is they end up changing the meaning of the content. Please ensure that whatever meaning is there of the text, you're not changing the meaning. And along with main idea, you are including the supporting details. Do not ignore supporting details. Coming to form, here the word limit is checked. And like I said, fewer than 5 and more than 75 words are not allowed. Coming to grammar, you are supposed to use relative clauses. See, if you have to connect a few ideas, or I should say several ideas in one lengthy sentence, you should know your conjunctions and linkers. So you should know how to use relative pronouns or relative clauses. You should know how to use participle clauses. And this task can't be aced if we do not know about conjunctions. And when we talk about conjunctions, commas and semicolons come into play. And yes, the semicolon rules are also very important if this question type needs to be aced by you. So this is something that needs to be focused upon. Coming to vocabulary, here the range of your vocabulary and suitability will be checked. Suitability means whether the words that you have used are appropriate for the context or not. And yes, please ensure that spellings of each and every word are correct. Let's proceed. Right, these are some common mistakes that you need to avoid. Writing multiple sentences is a major no, no. Missing the main idea would be heavily penalized. Copying and pasting lines is something that's not recommended. Using informal language should be avoided. Ignoring connectors, well, no, we can't do that. Exceeding the word limit. These are some major blunders that we need to avoid when we are dealing with summarized written text, question type of the PTE exam. Moving on, this is step-by-step strategy. The very first thing, skim the passage, understand topic. Identify the main idea and key supporting points. For this, you need to read the whole passage in about 3 minutes, and that is absolutely an achievable task. Note down the main keywords or highlight them. Combine using connectors or conjunctions. Combine the main idea plus supporting ideas using connectors or conjunctions. Check your grammar and word count at the end. That's very incredibly important. Moving on. So we are going to practice a question now. For that, you have got this text. Let's read this together. So it says, by far, the most popular and most consumed drink is in the world is water, but it may come as no surprise that the second most popular beverage is tea. Although tea was originally grown only in certain parts of Asia, in countries such as China, Burma, and India, it is now a key export product in more than 50 countries around the globe. Countries that grow tea, however, need to have the right tropical climate, which includes up to 200 centimeters of rainfall per year to encourage fast growth, and temperatures that range from 10 to 35 degree centigrade. They also need to have quite specific geographical features, such as high altitudes to promote the flavor and taste of the tea, and land that can offer plenty of shade in the form of other trees and vegetation to keep the plants cool and fresh. Together, these conditions contribute to the production of the wide range of high quality teas that are in such huge demand among the world's consumers. There's green tea, jasmine tea, Earl Grey tea, peppermint tea, tea to help you sleep, tea to promote healing, and tea to relieve stress. But above all, tea is a social drink that seems to suit the consumption habits of human beings in general. Now, what's the main idea? The very first thing here, they talked about water, but they said after water, they, as in this text says, that after water, tea is the most popular beverage. And then in the next sentence, they're saying that, okay, initially it was grown only in Asian countries like China, Burma, and India. Now it is a major export product in more than 50 countries across the globe. So till here, we know that, okay, this text is about tea, and that is the second most popular beverage after water. After this sentence, now this text talks about the climate, suitable climate that is needed, in which they are talking, and not they, this text is talking about a rainfall, temperature, all that is needed. And after they are done with temperature, now this text talks about the geographical features that are required. And here this text talks about the kind of land that is needed, high altitudes, plenty of shades that is needed. So geographical features is one supporting detail, and temperature is another supporting detail. Main idea is that after water, tea is the main, popular beverage. And after geographical features, now here this text talks about huge range of teas. Like here they are talking about plenty of different types of teas, like green tea, jasmine tea, and all that. And finally, they are saying is that it's a social drink that seems to suit the consumption habit of human beings in general. So that's how you can divide your text in major chunks. This is how I would divide. The first part till here is talking about the major countries where tea used to grow, but now it's like a major export product in more than 50 countries. Plus, it's a popular beverage right after water. It's the second most popular beverage. Then the second chunk would be this one where this text talks about the climate, rainfall, and stuff like that. The third chunk here would be the geographical features that are required to grow tea. And then finally, a huge variety of tea that is needed. That we have, that is available to us. So that is how, in just a matter of about 3 minutes, you can understand the main idea. You can not only read the entire text, but you can understand the main idea as well as supporting details. Now let's see, we are going to do two things about this text. We are going to see a sample response written by student, We are going to analyze it, see the mistakes that the student has done, and then we'll see a high scoring response on this text. So let's see the student's response first. And here we go. Right. So it says, water is the most consumed drink around the globe. Um, Also, now here we have punctuation error. Also, there will be now wrong tense. Also, there will be no surprise that second most well-known beverage is tea, which only grown, wrong grammar, which used to grow only in Asian countries like India, China, and Burma. Therefore, wrong linker, punctuation error. We don't need therefore here. Student says that tea used to grow in Asian countries, therefore it is most exported product in more than 50 nations. No, it used to grow in Asian countries, but now, but is needed. But now it is the most exported product in more than 50 nations. And then once again, here we have punctuation errors. The student says to grow tea, I think we could have a semicolon here. To grow tea, it requires tropical climate, which includes 200 centimeters of rainfall and a temperature of 10 to 35 degrees. We need the word degrees also, degrees Celsius. Moreover, these conditions, this sounds robotic, right? I mean, just in just about 50, 60, or 70 words. Once we are using therefore, and then we are using moreover, that's too much of linkers. So we need to reduce the usage of these kind of words. Plus, the student says, moreover, these conditions contribute to growing green jasmine and many other teas, sorry. So yeah, I mean here the student has talked about wide variety, but yeah, moreover could have been avoided. So these are some errors that we have in this response. Now let's see a high scoring, accurate response. And here we go. So I'm saying after water, tea is the world's most consumed beverage. And although originally grown in parts of Asia such as China, Burma, and India, it is now exported by over 50 countries where tropical rainfall, moderate temperatures, altitude, and shade support cultivation, enabling production of diverse, high quality varieties that remain widely popular socially and commercially. So the entire text summarized in just a few fewer than 75 words. And that's a high scoring response. Let's understand why this is a high scoring response. And here you go. This is a high scoring response because you have one single complex sentence. This summary includes not only the main idea, but the supporting details as well. We have not only the relative clause beginning from here, we also have a participle clause over here. Where do you think this participle clause is beginning? It's beginning right here. And we have formal vocabulary here. We don't have any informal words. And that is why this is a high scoring response. Moving on. Now, these are some tips that you must not forget on the day of your exam. Number one, use complex sentence structures, avoid repetition of ideas, paraphrase the language instead of copying, and practice identifying main ideas quickly. You'll have to train yourself on this, reading different texts, identifying the main idea as well as supporting details. And that's about it. I'll see you in the next lecture very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.